Okay, the next thing is abstract, and abstract is absolutely important. Why? Because again, it should be the best of part of the paper itself. It is the most frequently read part of an article after the title. Whenever you read a title, the next thing that you mostly read is the abstract. You don't start reading the methodology or the discussion section. You mostly read the abstract first. So it should be in a good form. And again, in case of article review, please remember whenever your articles are sent out for review, the only thing that the editor will send to the reviewer is actually the title of the study and the abstract of the study. So if the title and abstract of the study are not catchy, they are not attention gathering, they are not very palatable, they are not very interesting, I'm sorry, but the reviewer might say, I'm not interested. And what would happen now? Your article might get locked and it might not get reviewed in the next few weeks to months, and it would lead to unnecessary delay. So please spend some time in writing a good abstract, and we are going to discuss what a good abstract looks like. So a good abstract should be a stand-alone abstract, which means that it should be complete and internally consistent. Now, there's one thing that you need to understand, that you cannot actually summarize the whole of your dissertation or the whole of your article in those 300 words. It's impossible. It's not, a fair game. So whatever you write in the abstract should actually at least what should I say? It should at least honestly reflect the research that you have done and the results that you have gathered. So obviously you would put in only the most important results in your abstract, and they should actually make a sense, which we call as complete and internally consistent. Please do not put any references in the abstract, whether you are writing for a dissertation, whether you are writing for a research article, or even if you are submitting your abstract for a national or international biomedical conference. Please do not put any reference in your abstract. You do not need to give any tables or figures in the abstract. Again, the same thing, please try not to use abbreviation. But if you have to use abbreviation, please, they must be defined on the first use. So if you have to use the word TB, so please write, first of all, write tuberculosis, bracket TB, and then only you can use the word TB again in the abstract. And same goes for other things. And I just told you that you cannot summarize every piece of research in the abstract. So whatever conclusions you write should be based on the data that you print within the abstract. Now, it's a very common mistake that colleagues make, that they write their article, they write their dissertation, and once they are writing their abstract, what they do, they simply copy paste the conclusion from the main text into the abstract. Please remember, the conclusion of the main text is based on the data presented in the main text or the full thesis, and you are presenting an abstract. It does not contain lot many information. So your conclusion of the abstract should be based on the data that you present inside the abstract. That makes it a stand-alone abstract, and which is a good abstract. Now, abstracts are of how many types? So how many types of abstracts are there? Please tell me in the chat box. Abstracts are of two types: structured and unstructured. The word structured means that the abstract has a particular defined structure. I'm going to give you some example from research article, but again, the same thing. It is the same with the research thesis as well. So whatever guidelines you are given, you have to follow those guidelines. And in most cases, research thesis or research dissertation have to follow a structured abstract format. So let me give you an example. So look at this article. It's a big article. Again, this article gives you many examples. First of all, this article is actually a pediatric article, Lactobacillus reuteri DSM 17938 in infantile colic, a randomized double-blind placebo-controlled trial. So first of all, the title. Look at the title. They have clearly mentioned the title. They have clearly mentioned the study design right in the title, so that if someone is looking for a randomized controlled trial on infantile colic, they are directly going to get to this article, download it, and then read it. Now, coming back to the structured abstract, look at this. So this is a structured abstract. It has a structure and it has certain subheadings. The first subheading is you have to mention objective, study design, result, and conclusion. So this is a structured abstract for this particular biomedical journal. Another example, again, two examples, a good title and structured abstract. So the title is prophylactic use of a probiotic in the prevention of colic, regurgitation, and functional constipation a randomized clinical trial. So they have clearly mentioned that, you know, our study is a randomized clinical trial. And look at this structured abstract. It has lot many subheadings. It has look at this: importance, objective, design, setting, participant, intervention, main outcome and measures, results, conclusion, and relevance. And look at this very important thing at the end: trial registration. I told you earlier that if you are about to plan, if you are about to do a clinical trial, please remember, no good biomedical journal in the world and none of the indexed biomedical journals in Pakistan, JPMA, JCPSP, PGMS, and JMC, are going to accept and publish your clinical trial if it does not has a clinical trial registry number. And the most common for you and me is to go on clinicaltrials.gov and get our clinical trial registered before we start conducting the research. So again, couple of things that you learned from this particular slide: how to write a good title, structured abstract, and the value of trial registration before the start of research. Unstructured means that there's no structure, there's simply a paragraph. Again, couple of examples. Look at this one. So again, this is also an original research article, which is a randomized control trial. But surprisingly, this particular journal, which is Global Pediatric Health, so their instruction to authors say unstructured abstract. So the authors have created an unstructured abstract. This abstract has all the information about the research study, but it is an unstructured abstract in form of a paragraph. So whatever instruction you are given, please follow those instructions. Again, this is a review article which is published in Glycobiology, and if you can see that this is also an unstructured abstract. Again, surprisingly, but again, for an original research article, sometimes the journal demands not a structured but an unstructured abstract. For this particular article, which is titled Intra-Articular Corticosteroid Injections in the Hip and Knee Joint, perhaps not as safe as we thought, you can see this is an unstructured abstract. So whatever instruction you are given by your institute, your department, or by the journal, you have to follow them. Again, another example of unstructured abstract.